it really dawned on me, like, the law of attraction is so real, but not in the way that I think most people think it is. I've never ever lived in true fear or true scarcity or true panic since I've had that shift. All these people that were successful kind of started in a similar place. Looking at me over the past like 18 months to a year, I did really lose myself in that. Hello guys, so hi, hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome, and if you are returning, then thank you so much. I'm gonna dive straight in. I spoke about this on my Instagram story and I asked you guys what you wanted to know about manifestation, spirituality, everything like that. So I thought, what better way to kick it off than just kind of describing my journey with the law of attraction, manifestation, the grind, entrepreneurship, everything like that. And I'm just going to try and do a whistle-stop tour of my whole journey with manifestation, how it started, things I have manifested, and then where I'm at now, because I've recently had a real perspective shift on manifestation, the law of attraction. So yeah, if you want to watch that, stick around for this video. If you do enjoy it, please make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. And let's get into the video. One thing I do want to say is I feel like I look quite hippie today, and there's two reasons why. One, I went a little bit mad on Shein and I've just got like a lot of funky jewelry, and two, I've decided to not put any heat on my hair today, so it does look a little bit crazy. It looks a little bit kind of like surfer vibes. Anyway, so I'm going to just try and do it in chronological order. There's probably going to be bits that I miss out, but you'll get the basic principles of my journey with manifestation and the law of attraction. Now, when I was first introduced to it, it was actually when I moved for probably the 5th time in 1 year. I was in debt. I couldn't afford to rent the places that I was. I actually got my car scrapped as well because that broke and I had no money to get a new car. That was just not gonna happen for me. So I said bye to my car. I was quite far away from work. I was in the sticks and I lived with, I think it was 6 or 7 other people at the time. I was in like a room in the living room. It was kind of like in the hallway. I don't really know how to describe it, but you know when you can just spot that your life is probably on this kind of trajectory, and I didn't feel like it was going up anytime soon. Although I've always known that I was destined to do something and be someone and be successful. At that point, I was kind of losing it all. And the only thing I could cling on to at the time was a relationship that was not good for me, but the only thing that kind of felt stable in my life. Reflecting on it now, it's a really sad situation that I was in, but let me tell you, it pivoted everything for me. So when I lived in that house, there was a lady called Andrea who lived there too, and we still keep in contact. She's one of the most incredible women I've ever met, and I think one of the first things she said to me was that I was an Aquarius, or she sensed my energy. And you know when you just, your eyes light up and you're just really intrigued by someone, and the conversations that we had were incredible, and we just spoke about things like the law of attraction and things like spirituality and energy and vibes and things like that. And it really opened my eyes to the fact that energy is a thing and that you can sense someone's energy, and things like tarot and star signs. And if you're not into astrology, this video is still for you, so don't panic. I'm not going to talk about astrology, but I was just really drawn to her, and she was the person that I went to for advice on every situation, because I just felt like she came from a real place of love, and I'd not experienced that for quite a long time. So that was the first kind of insight into energy and things like that. Now, at the time, I was with the first ever network marketing company that I was with, which was New Skin, and a lot of people were talking about personal development at the time. Spirituality wasn't like a big thing, and neither was manifestation at the time. It was more around personal development and books and things like that. The Secret was just kind of getting popular. And I bought You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. If I've not said that right, apologies. I'll link the books that I talk about down below as well, because the ones that I'm going to mention did change my life. And Beach Money, there was so many different books I read. And obviously, because my car had got scrapped, the only option for me to get to work was on the bus. Now, the bus took just under an hour, so I had a lot of free time to kill, and this was before I was really trying with social media. My phone wasn't pinging off. I didn't need to be on my phone a lot, so I thought, right, I'm gonna get some books and I'm going to read these books on the bus journey. And let me tell you, I think that was where it all properly started, because I literally looked forward to getting on the bus, even if it was raining, even if I had to stand in the rain. I just loved getting on the bus and reading my books and just reading a chapter and realising that all these people that were successful kind of started in a similar place. Some people were sleeping on mattresses in their parents' house. Some people were, you know, in other bad situations, because for me that was my bad situation. I didn't enjoy where I lived. I didn't like being so far away from home. I had no money. I was in debt. I was unhappy. And to see that people do start at that point was just so inspiring for me. And like I said, when I was with New Skin, not only were we taught personal development, but we actually had a page in these planners that we got, which was a definite purpose statement, which was essentially writing today in like a year's time. So for example, today would be the 10th of July, but I'd write it in 2022, and I'd write the things that I was grateful for and that I was really happy that I had in my life. And I spoke about what my life would be like, and I'd written a DPS, one for 1 year and one for 5, and I think it was the 5-year one that I used to read. But I memorised it so much that I used to stand at the bus stop, because it was literally only me, and I just used to say it over and over again, and I just used to read it over and over again. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now this, I'm now receiving X amount in income, and I would read it over and over. And at the time I didn't really understand that this was manifestation, that this was the law of attraction, that this was anything to do with that. I just thought it was inspiring. And lo and behold, within 2 years of that moment, I bought my first home. I moved back up north. I got myself out of debt. I got my first car that I'd bought myself on finance. I felt very adult. I got my own flat in York, just renting it. Everything just started to shift from that moment. I became single, properly single. Not the single that I used to do, that was literally for about a month before I would find a new relationship. I became single, as in just me, on my own, focusing on myself. And that 2 years looking back feels like an absolute whirlwind, because I can't even put my finger on how things just dramatically changed. But the only thing I can tell you is it was my mindset. And with the law of attraction, one thing that's really important is the decision that you want more, the decision that you want better, the decision that you deserve better. And I think that was probably what I was doing every single day when I was on the bus and I was reading these books, and I was really opening my mind to the possibility that there is more in life. So long story short, and I know you guys are probably thinking, well, how did it go from that point to this point? But it was just decisions. Even when I bought this house, it was a decision that was made. I was sat in the hot tub with my dad and my stepmom, and I just said, I want to buy a house. That is what I want to do. And even then, I didn't have the money. If you've watched that video, it was the first video I ever put on YouTube. I didn't actually have the money to buy that house at the time. I didn't have the deposit, but I made the decision that it was going to be mine, and everything just started slotting into place. Money came into me through refunds, through me selling things, through little helping hands. There was so many little things that just worked because I believed that it was gonna, and there was nothing that was gonna stand in the way of me getting this first house. And the same with the car. I waited a few months until my debt was cleared, but I was in a position where I had my car, I had my house, and it really dawned on me, like, the law of attraction is so real, but not in the way that I think most people think it is. And I'm going to film another video straight after this about the mistakes that I usually made with the law of attraction and manifestation. But it was just an absolute whirlwind, and whilst I'm so grateful for it, let me tell you that success like that isn't linear. And when you do have something that happens that's such a whirlwind, like for me, although it was over 2 years, looking back, it feels like such a whirlwind that I went from that to that. I think it's something, and I'm going to be really open and honest here, being in the world of network marketing, it's something that I've really opened up to recently, and it's something I really don't like about the industry, is how glamorized life is. And I think I was somebody that got caught in that trap of everyone that was successful in network marketing and had a success story, had designer handbags, had their own home at this age, had a nice car, had this, had that, went out for brunches. And I think when I realized that I started having money and I started getting money from my online business at the time, I got really caught up in that life, and I am so lucky I've just been through what I've been through, because I was trying to achieve a life that I didn't want to maintain, and that also wasn't maintainable because I was always spending more than I could even afford, even when I had the money again. And that's something that I just want to kind of tell you guys about manifestation, is make sure it's always true to you and make sure that it aligns with everything that you want, because I got really caught up in it for about a year, and looking at me over the past like 18 months to a year, I did really lose myself in that. And a lot of it was really behind the scenes, but I put a lot of pressure on myself to be a certain image of this successful person that had this, that and the other. But let's take it back to manifestation, because I feel like I'm giving a life story here. But going to that grounding experience that I was talking about, it was actually a bit of a financial shortfall that I went through when I quit my job. Obviously, you guys will have seen that video if you watched It's Time for a New Chapter. I worked in the corporate world for 6 years, and as much as it paid the bills, it was the best experience I ever had. It was truly incredible that they sponsored my degree and that it meant that I didn't have degree debt. I was really unhappy, feeling like I was stuck somewhere that I didn't belong, and feeling like I was stuck somewhere just because it was the right thing to do, and again for other people, because everyone told me it was such a great thing to do, and I felt really confused the whole time. Like, why are you so ungrateful for something that's so incredible? And it was just because I knew that wasn't what I was destined to do. And it wasn't the whole, as much as I might have said it on social media before, oh no, you don't need to work a 9 to 5, like 9 to 5s don't make you happy. It was nothing to do with that. It was that it didn't serve my sole purpose that I genuinely feel like I should be doing. And that's why I'm changing my tune on YouTube a little bit to give you guys these videos, because it just didn't fit with what I wanted to do. What is in the pipeline right now for the Breakthrough Society and everything like that has given me purpose. And like I said, I quit that job, which again, I manifested. That has been on a vision board for so long, to quit my job. And whilst it was the best thing ever, and I'm so grateful, and I love living life on my own terms and doing things whenever I want to do them, it's truly incredible. Again, I did it for the wrong reasons, and this is something that I just want to make sure people are aware of with manifesting, is that it truly aligns to you, because if not, when you get that thing, it's not going to make you any happier. The day that I quit my job, I literally spent the whole evening, I believe, having a mental breakdown with AJ, because I thought it was meant to feel so different. I thought I was meant to be celebrating and feeling so happy and over the moon, and it just didn't feel like that. But yeah, I quit my job, had a few months where things were just incredible. I was socialising, I was going out, I was doing things, everything just felt amazing. And then I kind of realised, Jess, you shouldn't have been living life like you were when you had 2 big incomes. And I started working out, right, okay, things are probably not working out the way that I planned, but I'm someone that literally trusts the universe and trusts that everything's going to be okay. And that is something that I truly believe is down to manifestation and being on a certain frequency and a certain vibration, that just means that you are always going to attract possibilities and opportunities and a way to make it okay. And I've never ever lived in true fear or true scarcity or true panic since I've had that shift, which happened about 3 or 4 years ago, which is when I started the process of getting my car and thinking about houses and getting out of relationships and everything like that. But like I said, I kind of started working out, if I want to live the life that I'm living right now and I need the time to build something that currently doesn't make money, I kind of need to work out a plan so that I'm not in a state of crap, I don't have enough money. And the weirdest thing was, everyone around me was kind of not panicking, but when I explained the situation, you know, money's not the exact way I thought it was. The instant thing was, right, let's think about getting you a job, let's think about getting you grounded again, let's think of giving you stability. And the thought of that honestly made me feel sick. Part of it will have been ego, because I wouldn't have ever wanted to swallow my pride and been like, oh, money's not as strong as you thought it was, go and get a job. But I just know I don't want to work for somebody else. I know that it's not what I'm meant to do. I know that it doesn't give me the opportunity to be creative and do things like the breakthrough. I just couldn't see myself doing a job. I did apply for a job, and doing it just made me feel so nervous. It made me feel sick. And when people started panicking around me, I started panicking, and I got really upset. I got really overwhelmed, and I was thinking, what an idiot. Like, success, like, you were not meant to be successful. You're back in the same position that you were, which I absolutely wasn't. You know, I've got my own home, my lovely car on the drive. I hadn't got into debt or anything like that. I just realised that I didn't get as much money as I thought I did. But there was so many things, like limiting beliefs creeped in, and I absorbed a lot of other people's energy, which was panic, which was, oh, do you think it was the right idea? Do you regret quitting your job? And when I pull myself out of that, and I pull myself back to what I know, which is trusting that everything's going to be okay, and trusting that everything works out, let me tell you, everything works out, and it works out better when you just surrender. That was my word for the last full moon. That I just did a ritual for the last full moon, and my pen ran out as I was writing my intentions, and I took that as a sign that I just need to surrender right now. I don't need to plan, I don't need to panic, I don't need to try and control everything, because when you order a package from Amazon, you don't panic about how it's going to get here, or what lorry it's going to go on, or what van it's going to get on, and what driver's going to touch it. You order it and you trust it's going to come, and that's exactly how I treated this situation. I trusted things were going to work out, opportunities come my way, and I manifested exactly what I'm going through right now, which is creative inspiration for the Breakthrough Society, a life coach that has literally changed everything for me, who reached out to me and who worked with me without any financial burden for me. Things like that that just happened, that gave me direction, that have given me direction for the Breakthrough Society. So much happened in that time when I just decided I was going to surrender, and new income streams came to me. And honestly, looking back, it just all makes sense when you trust and when you make a decision that things are going to be okay, or things are going to happen. They really, really do. Like, I look back at times when I wanted to go shopping in Zara and not panic, and I can do that, and I have been doing that, but I've just not realised, because in that moment it just felt so normal. Or I've dreamed of having a nice car, which every time I get in that car, I honestly, I cannot tell you, like, it fills me with the most happiness. Like, owning a home makes me feel so proud of myself that I've done it on my own. And another real thing here, buying a home did not, the reason that I bought my home when I did was for the complete wrong reason, and it was to prove people wrong and to be like, I can do it on my own, I can do it myself. And it takes a lot for me to admit this, and you know, I hope nobody comes for me about this, because it's something that I've really recently grounded myself on, which is stop doing things for external validation. And that's why I am going to film the other video in a second. I'm going to talk about some real truths with manifestation, because yes, I've got it, and Jesus Christ, I am not complaining. I am so happy, and even touching the walls and seeing everything that I've got and knowing that this is mine is one of the best feelings in the world. But I'll come onto it in the other video. It will be live probably 3 days after this one, so you'll be able to see it. But there's so many things that have happened over the course of the past, like, even 5 years, that I've just not realised that have happened. Or I look back at my goal board and I think, I achieved that and I didn't even notice, because it just came into life so effortlessly that I didn't have to panic about controlling it and obsessing over it and forcing it to work, if that makes sense. Which is why sometimes I look at my vision board and I think, oh my gosh, I've achieved that, because I let go, I surrendered, I trusted, I made a decision that it was going to happen. So where I'm at now from a manifestation perspective is I'm so at peace with it. I definitely went into what's called a manic manifester, which is someone that believes in the law of attraction, is spiritual, but really obsesses over everything. And I definitely got into that stage. But I literally look back at that girl at the bus stop who was reading out her day in the life, and I just want to give her the biggest cuddle, because if only she knew that it was going to be okay, I think I would have made a lot of different decisions back in the day. And now I make decisions thinking it's going to be okay, not panicking about things like relationships, Because if I do, I settle for less. And it's something I've noticed in myself. It's a pattern I've noticed. If I panic about finding someone, I settle for less. If I panic about a certain thing, I'll settle for less just so that I feel like I'm getting closer to that end goal. Or I'll do something that doesn't quite fit just to try and push myself a little bit further. And that's not a state that you want to be in with manifestation. But right now, I am 24 years old, sat in my own home with the best experiences, the best people around me, the best of everything, and I just know that there's so much more to come, and I am so excited for everything that is coming. And I hope that you guys follow this journey of these videos and these types of videos. I'm going to do book recommendations, my favorite books, things that certain things have taught me and everything like that. But my biggest tips for manifesting is just finding what works for you. I tried to force myself to do so many things like meditating, yoga, scripting, journaling, so many different things, being with nature. I tried to do so many things because I watched so many YouTube videos of people that did that. Get up at 5 AM, all of that stuff. I tried it, but you have to find what works for you. And I'm going to definitely cover that in lots of other videos about hustle culture, morning routines, and do we actually need them? All of that stuff is going to be covered. But yeah, I'm 24 right now. I am definitely some way into my manifestation journey, but there's so much I want to learn, and I hope that you guys come on this journey with me. I'm sorry that this might have been a bit of a shambles, but hopefully you can kind of understand the journey that I've been on. It really has gone from debt to unhappy, debt and unhappy to this. But let me tell you, materialistic things and some of the things you think might make you happy might not, without actually grounding yourself and going on a true spiritual journey, as well as manifesting your dream life. But yeah, I'm just so excited for what's to come, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's any specific questions you want me to answer, please put them down below in the comment box, or ask me on Instagram and I'll do a bit of a Q&A, because I'm conscious it's how my brain works. It's quite sporadic. It will just clutch at a memory and bring it to my brain, and then I just kind of talk about it in these videos. So I'm gonna drink my cup of tea now because it's actually still warm. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.